The White Knight, just like the Black Knight on a chessboard, moves in a bit of a haphazard way compared to all the other pieces. In my opinion, Donald Trump was the White Knight that is now king. There's no disputing this, and his dynasty may last 1,000 years, much like the UK royal dynasty that's been in place since 1066. So in today's audit, I'm looking at a small unedited extract from President Trump's speech at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. Whether you love or hate Donald Trump is irrelevant. People throughout time have disliked their kings and leaders. This week, Trump apparently made inappropriate comments about NATO and its assistance in the US's war efforts in Afghanistan. Remember, it was the US that invoked the relevant NATO article, which compelled other NATO members to join together during that conflict. One for all and all for one and all that. So I'm not going to be commenting on this. There's enough noise about it. But if I did have one comment or one thing to say about it, it would be along the lines of that Trump is provoking NATO members to take defence and security seriously. So the 10 minutes I'm looking at are at the beginning of Trump's speech. I will look at parts and provide some commentary. Now, my focus is on investment, pensions, what people are doing, and there was one striking thing that came out, and that's his amount that he's added to the stock market, which is, as he points out, directly related to US citizens' retirement accounts, the 401s as they're known.
Paper comes in a big seller. 81 even start trading here now. There's 79 start trading.
And don't be under any illusion. Many UK investors, and that many people that have got their pensions invested into US denominated funds or markets, have benefited also. So I hope that's you, but remember, things can also turn. So always keep track of things and watch for the turn.
There's 72 even offer, 68 even start trading. Guys, 70 even bid here now once again, 70 even trade.
Or, if we're going along Trump's lines, this could be the beginning of a very big long wave.
Well, thank you very much, Larry. It's great to be back in beautiful Davos, Switzerland, and to address so many respected business leaders, so many friends, few enemies, and all of the distinguished guests. It's a who's who, I will say that. I've come to this year's World Economic Forum with truly phenomenal news from America. Yesterday marked the one-year anniversary of my inauguration, and today, after 12 months back in the White House, our economy is booming, growth is exploding, productivity is surging, investment is soaring, incomes are rising, inflation has been defeated, our previously open and dangerous border is closed and virtually impenetrable. And the United States is in the midst of the fastest and most dramatic economic turnaround in our country's history.
So, of course, it's hard to dispute that. If you look at the top gainers from last year in the US stock market, we could go down this list, which is just from a website just pulled off from Google. But look at the percentage gains. There's some absolutely fantastic gains all the way through this list. How can you dispute what Trump's saying?
Under the Biden administration, America was plagued by the nightmare of stagflation, meaning low growth, and high inflation, a recipe for misery, failure, and decline. But now, after just 1 year of my policies, we are witnessing the exact opposite. Virtually no inflation and extraordinarily high economic growth. Growth like I believe you'll see very shortly our country has never seen before, perhaps no country has ever seen before. Over the past 3 months, core inflation has been just 1.6%. Meanwhile, fourth quarter growth is projected to be 5.4%, far greater than anybody other than myself and a few others had predicted. Since the election, the stock market has set 52 all-time high records. So that's in 1 year, 52 records. adding $9 trillion in value to retirement accounts, 401ks.
So this could be a little bit more contentious because, yeah, we could say January, 2025. So where are we here? Yeah, monthly chart here. So each bar represents a month. So non-stop gains, right? But Biden's period was here. So that was also a period of gain. So looking at it slightly differently on the daily chart here, looking at the S&P 500, one of the main barometers of the health of the US economy. We can just see the trajectory here. So what could possibly make it go like this? And like I always say with any chart, and I've always said it, it's very easy to look at a chart. This tells you what's happened. What no one can ever tell you is what's going to be over this side. They can forecast, we can make predictions. I could say, well, yeah, look, we're going up to 7,400. We're on this trajectory up to 7,2. Somebody else might have the opinion that, no, this is running out of steam. It's going to have a significant drop off. And then you could have a radical drop down to here. So everyone has these speculative opinions and predictions, etc., etc. But at this junction in time, and based on what Trump is saying, you can't dispute what he's saying. And of course, from Trump's warmongering and pressure to increase defence budgets on NATO countries and any other countries and nations around the world, means that those in that sector benefit, which can be clearly illustrated by a couple of charts, as you'll see. Lockheed Martin is the biggest defence contractor in the world. And look how much it's risen since early January. And for space and stealth technology, just take a look at Northrop Grumman Corporation. Early January, ramped up. And Boeing's Space Defence BDS unit has probably added some significant gains overall. So closer to home, we're looking at Babcock. Again, just look at these significant, all a similar, very, very similar pattern. Many of them steep rises from this period here. Consolidation here, a little bit of teetering here because of the Greenland type of stuff, which I personally think was just a load of smoke and mirrors. It had strategically the outcome of putting Western boots on the ground and unifying some people to get involved in that region, which is what, reading between the lines, Trump's objective was, which was, let's face it, achieved. So closer to home, it's all very unpredictable, but if he was going to make a prediction, it would be Keir Starmer being the type of person he is. He's a legal person, he's a manager type person. He's not the preferred choice of the US President Trump, because that would be Nigel Farage. So many people are split on their opinions about whether the UK is just like a launch pad into Europe, potentially for any conflict with Russia that might be coming this way. The Israelis have recently put in a defence system for the Germans. If the Russians progress a bit further towards Europe, they're within range.
He has become the first European nation to deploy Israel's Arrow air defense system. It's designed to intercept and destroy ballistic missiles, and it marks a turning point in Europe's security strategy against the threat of Russia's intermediate-range missiles.
Deutschland erhält heute mehr als ein Waffen.
So there's a lot going on, and a lot of it is beyond the scope of any of us and what we could possibly say and speculate on. But he is the White Knight, he is the king, and if you look at what he's doing, one thing you can predict is that he's unpredictable. Thank you for joining me on this audit, and please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
75 evens are trading, 4 evens, 3 evens are trading here, 2 evens are trading, 72 evens just traded. Once again, guys, we are a big time even bid here now.